Sarasa Feed is given to an orphanage after her parents pass away because their greedy business partners stole their firm. After encountering an alchemy, Sarasa is motivated to follow in her footsteps, studies assiduously, and is admitted to the Royal Alchemy Academy, where she studies as Master Alchemist Ophelia Millis' apprentice. She takes her alchemist certification test after 5 years and gets a perfect score. She decides to open her own alchemy shop, become a renowned master alchemist, and buy an alchemical works, a comprehensive list of all known alchemical techniques, with the life savings she has saved. Ophelia gives her an alchemist's bag she enchanted herself as a graduation gift. Sarasa purchases the cheapest shop she can find, in the tiny Yak village surrounded by forests in the Jelba Raka Mountains. Despite it being a month's journey by carriage, alchemical plants grows everywhere and can be foraged for free. Ophelia informs her that to become a master, Sarasa must perfect all the techniques in the first 9 volumes of the alchemical works, but only fools attempt the 10th, which even Ophelia has yet to perfect. After being away for a month, Sarasa arrives at her new shop to find it completely empty and explains why it was so cheap. Sarasa realizes that the overgrown garden is actually a field of grass with valuable plants, and despite the need for repairs, the shop still has the equipment of the previous owners. Sarasa visits a village store, where she meets Loria, the store owner's daughter, Darna, and Sarasa's new neighbor, Mrs. Els. Mrs. Els shows her the village, where they meet the carpenter Jeberk, the blacksmith Gizdo, the mayor, the innkeeper Delal, and other villagers. Sarasa struggles socially and becomes depressed when the drunken villagers taunt her. Ophelia visits the next day to give Sarasa a sword because certain ingredients can only be gathered by killing monsters, and she insists that she trains with the sword every day. She also provides a teleportation ring so she and Sarasa can teleport supplies back and forth. After Ophelia leaves, Sarasa struggles with feelings of loneliness. Soon after, the villagers band together to get whatever else Sarasa needs and start tidying up the shop, including the apologetic drunks, who are thoroughly lectured by Loria after their prank. Sarasa decides she needs a sales assistant, so Loria volunteers and Sarasa finally opens her shop for business. Sarasa is immediately in trouble when a young woman with a severed arm is brought to her shop. Examining the girl Iris, Sarasa also diagnosed her with burns and poisoning. Her fellow hunter-gatherers report that she has been attacked by a Helfling grizzly, a dangerous monster, and their leader Andre and Iris' friend Kate agree to pay Sarasa's bounty, despite some of her men angrily complaining about the cost. Sarasa takes Iris' hand again and cures the poison, saving her life. Sarasa fears that the cost of saving lives might make her unpopular, but if she did it for free, she would be out of business and more people would die in the long run. With her training, Sarasa easily kills the grizzly for its valuable alchemical ingredients, but upon cutting she finds evidence that the grizzly was hungry, meaning that if its food source runs out, other grizzlies in the area may starve and attack the village. The angry hunter-gatherers quit their jobs to save themselves. Andre and his remaining men volunteer to fight, as do the villagers. With Sarasa's guidance, the grizzlies are lured into traps and killed. Unfortunately, Sarasa's store is badly damaged, which, combined with the potions she supplied for free to assist the fighting and the unpaid bill for Iris treatment, she has lost a staggering amount of merchandise and money despite her store only being open 1 day. Sarasa asks Iris and Kate to live with her to help run the store. With most of the village in need of repair after the grizzly attack, Sarasa opens a shop to help even if her store is in need of repair, and even offers a discount to anyone who returns empty drink bottles for recycling. Sarasa confers with the mayor, she keeps the alchemical ingredients of the grizzlies, and the villagers share the profits of the meat and skins. Sarasa also plans to build a relationship with the 2 alchemists in the next village, South Straug. The first alchemist tries to trick her, which discourages her, but the second alchemist, Leonora, is much more polite. After selling Grizzly's parts, Sarasa is able to buy the ingredients she lacks and still has a small fortune to hire Jeberk to clean the store and kitchen with a magical oven that Sarasa creates using alchemy. Since magical furnaces do not require fuel, Delal buys 2 stoves for the tavern with a large sum of money. After the kitchen is set up, Sarasa hosts a tea party with Loria, Kate, and Iris. Sarasa is thinking about creating a new useful product that people will want to use every day. Loria is stung by a wasp, so Sarasa decides to create bug-proof veils, since stinging insects are a problem for farmers. Sarasa also decides they need a fridge for the kitchen, powered by frost bat teeth. Kate and Iris have never hunted bats, and it transpires the South Stroud alchemist who tried to cheat Sarasa once cheated the villagers over the bat's value, causing the villagers to stop hunting them. In the bat's cave, Sarasa teaches the hunter-gatherers how to hunt frost bats safely since their fangs can freeze a human solid. After hunting the bats, Sarasa harvests the valuable fangs and shares them equally with the villagers. Andre is so impressed with Sarasa's gloves, made super durable by alchemy, that he asks for a pair for every hunter/gatherer. With the extra fangs, Sarasa also creates hats to keep people cool in hot weather. Feeling she can still do more, Sarasa decides she must attract more money into the village from outside. With the mayor's approval, Sarasa hires the villagers to sew the hats for her before she adds the alchemical cooling properties. In this way, she intends to make cooling hats a Yak village specialty product and sell them to other villages. With Sarasa's help, more hunter-gatherers come to find employment at the village. A rare ingredient is discovered in a nearby lake, Marsan clams. Sarasa is uninterested since only female clams are valuable and only experts can tell males from females, so harvesting them is rarely profitable. However, Sarasa is convinced when Loria reveals the clams are also edible. Along the way, Sarasa befriends a baby flying fox monster. While Iris and Kate harvest clams, Sarasa begins teaching Loria to swim. They are suddenly attacked by a Ligarex, a giant eel monster whose slime makes it invulnerable to weapons, and uses paralyzing electrical magic. The flying fox accidentally breaks Sarasa's alchemist necklace, made for her by Ophelia, causing her magic to create an out-of-control typhoon that kills the Ligarex. Sarasa reveals to everyone she has an exceptionally high level of magic that is hard to control, so Ophelia made the necklace to make it easier for her. Luckily, the typhoon also pulled most of the unharvested clams from the lake, so Sarasa collects the valuable females while Loria uses the males to make clam chowder and barbecued Ligarex meat while the flying fox returns to its mother. Sarasa decides to teleport a letter to Ophelia asking for materials to repair her necklace. Sarasa recalls the time she was a young alchemy student and applied to work at Ophelia's shop. Although Ophelia was impressed by her knowledge, she was aware that Sarasa possessed a powerful magic that she was unable to manage. Ophelia chose to take Sarasa on as an apprentice and created the necklace to reduce her power. Sarasa is currently getting ready to teleport the paper, but Iris slips and nearly enters the teleportation circle. In the process of saving her, Sarasa loses her necklace, which unintentionally teleports Ophelia as well. The circle is destroyed without her necklace, which restrains her strength. Over several days, Sarasa attempts to train her power without the necklace but struggles, worrying her friends. Ophelia reminisces that she never wanted an apprentice until her friend secretary Maria convinced her she needed Sarasa as much as Sarasa needed her. With the circle broken, Ophelia decides to return the necklace herself. When Ophelia eventually shows up and fixes the necklace and the circle, Sarasa is concerned that she won't ever be able to work as an alchemist once more after 3 days. She worries that Sarasa is pushing herself too hard, but she is reassured by the fact that she owns a lovely store and has wonderful friends, so she goes back to the city knowing that Sarasa is doing well. A new merchant begins buying frostbat fangs, offering more money for them than Sarasa, deliberately undermining her business. Andre has doubts about the merchant because they hire bandits. Loria is upset because Sarasa's parents and her grandmother were both murdered by bandits. Sarasa temporarily increases the price at which she pays for teeth, then has Iris resell them to the merchant, who soon runs out of money. Sarasa discovers from Leonora that the merchant, Gree Dilly, owns an alchemy company and specializes in forcing alchemists to work for him by driving their businesses out of business, as he is attempting to do to Sarasa. Sarasa also learns that the merchant sells his teeth in South Stroud. Sarasa continues outwitting Gree, costing him so much money he borrows money from criminals to keep his own company open. Sarasa is attacked by Gree's bandits but defeats them. Since Gree is unable to pay back his debts to the criminals, his future is unclear. Gree is forced to sell Sarasa his vast supply of teeth in exchange for a pittance. All of the teeth are sold to Ophelia, and Sarasa uses the proceeds to settle the debts owed by Greece alchemists, allowing them to reopen their own businesses and establish themselves as valuable connections should she ever need assistance again. The desire for Sarasa's cooling hats decreases as autumn approaches. Sarasa builds a shared sound box so she can communicate with Leonora from a distance and the alchemists who now owe her a lot of money as a result of paying their debts to Greece. Iris and Kate are sent with the hunter-gatherers to collect honey from fruit bees, an expensive delicacy, as they want to pay off their debts to Sarasa once and for all. In addition to creating a floating tent that is simple to use because it doesn't require tent poles to remain upright, Sarasa starts studying the next volume of her alchemical works. Loria is confident that it will be well liked by hunters and gatherers for expeditions. The hunter-gatherers sell the honey to Sarasa. Unfortunately they, Kate and Iris, fall with bathroom troubles, having tasted the honey which is poisonous when raw. Sarasa crafts an antidote, but to keep it cheap enough to not put Iris and Kate back into debt, she skips several expensive steps that leave the potion effective, but unimaginably disgusting. With everyone recovered, Andrea buys Sarasa's first tent, reassuring her it will be a popular product. Iris' father and Kate's mother abruptly visit the store. Iris' father, Sir Adelbert, and his servant Katerina, Kate's mother, have come to fetch Iris. Adelbert is a knight, but Iris says that he used his wealth to protect his people from starvation during a famine. Their family owes Baron Yakuo money as a consequence. The debt has been offered to be settled by a young businessman, called Shay Dilly, but only if Iris marries him. Sarasa understands that Shay must be Gree's sibling, who succeeded to the alchemy business after Gree was assassinated. As the Dilly company is bankrupt, Shay shouldn't be able to afford Adelbert's debt, unless he is conspiring with Yakuo to take over Adelbert's knighthood. Adelbert decides to delay the engagement until Sarasa can have Leonora investigate Shay thoroughly. When hunter-gatherer Elin tells Sarasa that Yakuo has cancelled the investigation into the Helfling Grizzlies, Sarasa decides to conduct her own investigation with Andre and his men. They come across a nest of lava lizards in grizzly territory, which have occupied grizzly land and are feeding on the same flame stones as the grizzlies. Sarasa is surprised there are so many living on one volcano and slaughters several for their alchemical body parts. When the summit of the volcano abruptly collapses due to a large earthquake, Sarasa realizes a salamander had been living there. It is doubtful that the salamander or lizards will emerge from the volcano to attack the village. Sarasa and the group inform Elin. Sarasa reveals that even though hunting such a large salamander will be dangerous, the alchemical components from it would completely settle Adelbert's debt. Ophelia concurs that it needs to be hunted. If it causes the volcano to erupt, the entire ecosystem would be destroyed. Iris and Kate offer without hesitation. Using frostbat teeth and the help of all her new friends and connections, Sarasa starts creating heat-resistant clothing and ice weapons. After 2 weeks, the project is finished, but Sarasa discovers that the lizard population has increased drastically and that the volcano's surroundings have changed as a result of the frequent earthquakes. Ophelia is shown following them secretly. Entering the volcano, Iris and Kate distract the salamander with ice weapons, while Sarasa removes her necklace, freeing all her magic at once to cast an ultimate freezing spell. Ophelia's cheers for Sarasa as she is about to pass out motivate her. Both the erupting volcano and the salamander are frozen solid, killing it and preventing further earthquakes. After 2 weeks of labor and the challenging battle, Sarasa immediately nods off in Iris' arms. With Adelbert's debts paid, Iris is saved from marrying Shay. Leroy, the chief clerk of the feed company that Sarasa's parents had stolen, writes her a letter telling her that the staff wants her to come back as the legitimate owner. Sarasa's possible departure clearly worries Loria. Sarasa decides that before making a choice, she must tour the business. She begs Loria to manage the shop while she's away because the trip will take a month. At the feed company, Leroy acknowledges that although the business was never truly stolen, her parents' passing left it with astronomically high debts. Fearing Sarasa was both too young and heartbroken by her parents' deaths, Leroy and the other employees placed her in the orphanage and have loyally spent 7 years, dragging her company out of debt. Still unsure, Sarasa spends the day observing how the employees run the company and asks Ophelia for advice. Ophelia is sure Sarasa's parents would care more about her happiness than the company. Gloria starts to suffer without Sarasa because only she is capable of concocting brews and identifying illnesses. Unexpectedly coming back, Sarasa declares she will remain in Yak, with Leroy running Feed Company as her recognized business partner. The villagers, especially Loria, are delighted to see her again, and Sarasa is glad to resume running her store as a novice alchemist.